Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of Charlene Downs, who was 14 on November 1st, 2003 when she disappeared. Now at about 5:30 after dinner she went out with her sister Becky, if I'm not mistaken, and about 6:45 she ran into her mother who was hanging out flyers for a fast food restaurant, and she told her mother that she wasn't going to go home yet, that she was actually going to go hang out with a couple more friends later that evening. Now her mother said that was okay, but she had to come back at 10 p.m. And so Charlene called her friends and they came over by bus, and the three of them went downtown. Now, according to the Wikipedia article, the friends spent a short time together. Downs then met another friend at around 9:30 and visited the Carousel Bar on the North Pier. There is CCTV footage of a girl at 9 p.m. on the junction of Dixon Road and Talbot Road, a main thoroughfare that leads from North Pier to the town center, that is believed to be Downs. She's with an unidentified woman in her 30s with dyed blonde hair wearing a 3/4 length coat. Her friend, however, said that she and Charlene left the Carousel Bar and returned to the town center around 10 p.m. And this same friend said that she saw her for the last time at about 11 p.m. near the Talbot Road and Abingdon streets. Now, no other signs of her have been found since then. There are some people that they actually tried for this case. And again, according to Wikipedia, following a police decision to treat Downs' disappearance as a murder case, there were several arrests in the case, and 2 men stood trial in May of 2007. The prosecution alleged at Preston Crown Court that Charlene had been murdered by Iyad Al-Batiki, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, a 29-year-old man from Jordan and the owner of Funny Boy's fast food outlet in Blackpool. Mohammed Raveshi, Al-Batiki's business partner, was accused of disposing her body. According to the prosecution, Al-Batiki had S with Charlene. The prosecution alleged that the men had discussed disposing of her body by putting it in kebabs sold from the fast food outlet. Now, I don't think that was ever proven. At least I haven't seen anything in this entire article that says that they found actual evidence of her body being used as such. And the case also did not lead to a conviction. They were released. As it says here, the jury failed to reach a verdict. A retrial was ordered and scheduled for April of 2008, but such serious errors in the Lancashire Constabulary's covert surveillance evidence were identified that the Crown Prosecution Service could not offer a case, and the 2 men were released. And somewhere else in the article it says that they recently tried somebody else, but they were also released several days later. And currently there is a £100,000 reward for any information leading to the conviction of her killers, or the recovery of her body, which they have not found yet. So other than the date and the rough time and location of her disappearance, we don't know a whole lot. And that is why we're going to take a look at this case with the tarot. We're going to start off with the Botticelli deck, which is currently on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Urban Tarot, which is this one with the modern images. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have about a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're starting off at the top left with the Star, then we have the Knight of Cups, and the World is in reverse. So this seems like, I think Charlene drew the attention of somebody with this Star card here, like somebody really had an eye out for her. And I'm guessing this Knight of Cups is this somebody who is mostly focused on their own emotions and their own wants and needs, that sort of thing. And I think they just wanted to have her to themselves, because we have here the World in reverse, which I often take as somebody disappearing from view from the world, basically disappearing from the world that they know. So I'm guessing this cup person, this Knight of Cups, decided that they wanted Charlene to themselves and hid her away somewhere. Next card we see here is death. Now, I don't think that that is the literal death that they are talking about. I think it's more the end of what she considered to be a normal day in her life, so to speak. Next to that, we see Temperance in reverse, and we have the Chariot in reverse. Okay, so somebody's losing their temper and things are slowing down. Like I said, there is death here, and I'm thinking that this is more like what I'm trying to say is there was a suspicion that Charlene and other girls in her area were part of this ring, almost like girls that were being taken advantage of. They were all kind of around that same age, and they may have had this type of encounter before with a Knight of Cups type of person, singling them out for illicit activities. And I'm thinking that she probably went into this thinking, oh, it's another one of these, and that's fine, we'll just take care of that as usual, because that's sort of like part of, I guess, that group's mindset. They've been trained to behave a certain way, if you know what I mean. I can't use too many descriptive words because YouTube will, of course, demonetize videos where you say things that are truthful, but things that apparently YouTube finds triggering. Anyway, so if you know what I mean, she may have went into it thinking that it was going to be another one of those encounters, and then she encountered something very different. Like this way, she had not encountered it like this before, and so to her, this is probably a shock to the system. Like, oh no, the thing that we used to do, or the result that I was expecting, we're not going to see that anymore. This is a very big change happening, and it's an end of a chapter, so to speak. Temperance in reverse, I'm thinking, is, like I said, somebody losing their temper. I'm thinking it is our Knight of Cups in this case losing their temper, things slowing down with the Chariot being in reverse as well. So it's kind of like a slowing down of time around them. Like I said, they were not expecting that, and I guess this is almost like hypervigilance of everything that's happening. That tends to come over a person when something very much out of the ordinary happens, like things slow down, time slows down, your perception of time slows down. That's kind of what this seems like if there's just things, the wind is being knocked out of your sails, so things were slowing down for her as well, and possibly they were also slowing her down because she may have wanted to escape or talk her way out of it, and they were like, no, we're not going to do that, because they were being unreasonable. With Temperance in reverse. So let's see. The next row, we have here the Seven of Wands in reverse. Somebody coming for your position, challenging your position, very negatively in this case. We have the Eight of Cups, so we're trying to walk away. And we have the Three of Swords, which is an interesting card. Just by looking at it, you have this person dragging somebody else along with a flower in their hand. Almost seems like somebody being forced to commit to something. The Three of Swords is like three as a crowd, though. It's usually the heart with the three swords sticking out of it. Almost like there is a cheater situation, somebody who is a third wheel, something along those lines. It could be that somebody walked in and wanted a part of that, and the other two did not want that at all, because we see here the Eight of Cups like a walking away. At least one person didn't want that. I'm guessing that Charlene did not want to be in a situation. Obviously, she didn't want to be in a situation anymore, but at this point, she thought that she could maybe still walk away. At least emotionally, she was trying to walk away from this. She may have tried to disassociate as well. And the Seven of Wands in reverse is interesting. It's like not envying their position. I'm thinking this is almost like, because it's right underneath the star here, like their interest may have waned in her, because the star is like, oh wow, look at this amazing radiant person, you are the light that I am looking for. And the Seven of Wands is normally people being jealous of you, kind of like the continuation of the Six of Wands, which is people cheering you on because you're such a great person and they really like you. And then the Seven of Wands is more like, now you're being a little bit too good and now I'm starting to get jealous, that type of thing. But it's in reverse, so I'm thinking that it's more of a, I don't really care about you anymore because look at you, you're not that good, you're not that great, and I'm not really interested anymore. So we have another person entering the scene as she tries to walk away, which probably causes for emotional surprise right here with the Page of Cups. And we have here the Seven of Swords in reverse. So we're lying and we're manipulating over here. And then we have the Ten of Cups, which I find very interesting, but I'm thinking, oops, come on. I'm thinking this may be a promise being made, because we do see the Seven of Swords, which is often like a deception card. I'm thinking this set of cards in particular is them coming up with an offer or something that makes her go, oh, that sounds great, then at least I'll be out of here, I'll be home, I know I'm late, I was supposed to be home by 10, but okay, I can explain this, and that's great, let's do that, because that makes me feel like I can get out of here. But it is the Seven of Swords, so I'm thinking that they were lying to her, maybe to keep her calm or something, or just trying to get her to comply with whatever it is that they were really planning on doing. So that is the first round. Let's see what we can find after that. So what happens next? This card just kind of hanging on, but it's not quite falling, so I'm not going to take it. Whoop. That one flipped and this one jumped. So we have here the Seven of Wands. Okay, so now we are jealous again, which is interesting because we just had that in reverse. We have a jealousy, though, possibly for a Knight of Wands, which is actually the King of Wands. Oh, interesting note as well, just an FYI, she was wearing dark pants, I think, with a golden eagle type design. And I'm just noticing the drum here, which is not quite an eagle, but it is a golden Pegasus, and it kind of reminds me of the description of the thing she was wearing. So possibly they were like, oh no, we need to do something about this. Perhaps somebody was noticing things about her that made her stand out, and maybe that's why they were like, wait, I need to do something about this. I'm thinking somebody may have been jealous of a certain King of Wands type person, because in this deck the Knights are actually the Kings, because it has no Kings, this deck. And they may have therefore wanted to come for them. Okay, I'm mixing two things right now. Okay, let me do one thing at a time. So somebody may have been jealous of whomever this Cup Knight is over here. I'm thinking that this is the Three of Swords person. This King of Wands over here is jealous of the situation probably once in. Another thing that I'm thinking is, so this is the second part that maybe point out the Pegasus over there, is that this King of Wands may have also noticed her outfit and maybe thought, you know what, people are going to remember that she wore that, and therefore we need to get out of here with her. We need to do something about her, and that's why we get this protest as well with the Wands, because the Wands is a suit of action. So possibly they were thinking we need to do something, and we need to do something fast. So not only did they want in, they also wanted out at the same time, if you know what I mean. So let's see what else we have here. We have the Moon on its side. It's kind of in reverse. Well, I'll put it here for now. So the Moon is on its side, which kind of seems to be like things are kind of hidden and things are also coming to light. This may be a situation where I'm actually drawn to say that she was revealed some secrets, but because she was not to leave the situation, those secrets were never actually fully revealed. Kind of like that, like they told her what they were going to do, but because she wasn't able to run for safety or talk to anybody else, those plans were never actually spoken to another person outside of the perpetrators, I think. Oh, there's this one. The star in reverse, star is going down. Yeah, I think this is definitely also them thinking we need to get rid of her, and also her star is going down. She's a shooting star at this point. I'm thinking that this is the point where they got rid of her, disposed of her in some way, where the actual final act was taking place that ended her life. This one is next. All right, what do we have here? We have the Game Master in reverse. This is the King of Swords. All right, so we're lying. We're probably telling people all sorts of lies in this case, but also this is called the Game Master. So this person is very smart and probably knows a lot about making things disappear, making possibly more people disappear, is part of this ring, I would think. Like, they're just very comfortable in this type of position. This is not somebody who is ill prepared for this type of situation. I don't know if that means that they've done this before to the extent at which it was done to Charlene, but I'm thinking that they're definitely part of that world where things like these are just more commonplace, and they were probably a lot calmer, a lot more methodical about that. Now let's see what happens, because I think at this point Charlene is no longer with us, so I think we should move on to whether we're ever going to find anything of hers, and if the people who did this are going to get caught. So let's see if we can get any cards about that. Okay. Princess of Wands also on its side with the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so somebody might be willing to talk, I think, if they see that this would be a good opportunity for them. Now, there is a reward out that has been out for some time now, I believe. Not entirely sure when the reward was posted. I think this was after that third person was tried and released after a couple of days, or at least brought in and released after a couple of days. I'm thinking somebody might be on the edge, thinking, kind of like teetering on the edge, like whether they should or shouldn't go for this reward. They may be in a very tough situation themselves, and I'm talking about this dancer over here, who is somebody, I'm guessing, based off of this combination alone, that they are in a certain world. I wouldn't say trafficked, but maybe kind of voluntarily there and kind of not. They're just kind of stuck in that world, but they're looking at this money, the monetary reward, thinking, if I could provide information and get the money without anybody noticing that it was me or that I have the money, I could like get out of here, something like that. But I imagine that it's fairly difficult and dangerous, because we do see that she is playing with fire in this case. I'm thinking somebody is tempted to say something, who may have a lot of information, or at least some information that will help solve the case, but they might be wondering if it's worth trying, because I imagine if you're in that type of situation and you approach the police with some information, you might think, oh no, they're gonna like put my name out there, or the press is gonna know, and then before the police has a chance to protect me, certain other people that want this information to stay hidden will have gotten to me before them, right? Something like that. So they might be afraid of coming forward, but they are looking at the reward. Are they actually going to take that step? Okay, so we have here Three of Swords in reverse, so they are also kind of tied down. They may have connections in this world, and it's in reverse though, so this might not be something that they can easily get rid of. Also, this card is very negative in the sense that we're seeing a pretty gruesome scene here with the bathtub and the razor blade and the red stuff that I'm not going to mention because I'm not sure if YouTube likes that word or not. You never know. Basically, things going down the drain as well. Things I think could go very bad very quickly for her. I imagine that is to her in any case. So I think this is her considering the negative consequences of taking action. Oh, okay, that one kind of fell off, and it is the High Priestess in reverse. Okay, so she just can't see her way out of this because High Priestess is like an intuitive thing, also kind of meditating on situations, that type of thing. Also, it's another bathtub, as you notice. Three of Swords is a bathtub, High Priestess is a bathtub, so she's not quite sure what the outcome will be. They can't really see a way through. And I think at some level they're more comfortable just not rocking the boat. Like ignorance is bliss, almost like that type of thing is what I'm seeing with this lineup. Okay, so I feel like a lot of people will want me to look into this whole kebab thing if that was true. So I'm gonna now skip to is that at all true? Did they really try to serve her up to customers? Did that actually happen? What can we learn about that part? Because that is one of those things that people bring up every time about this case. Like whenever we look up a video about this case, when I look up a video, there is always the this thing with the kebabs is tied to her name. Okay, so the first card that I'm getting over here is the Six of Swords, which is normally like being taken to other places by other people, possibly through words as well, because it is a word and thought suit. They may have thoughts about different ways to get her out of there, because you can see like there's a boat back there on a river. There is a bunch of swords though stuck in what looks like a planter box. I'm thinking that they are, maybe they thought about it, but the planter box kind of suggests that they went for a more mundane method, I would think. Like maybe they did just bury her somewhere. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, that's a lot of cards, not all going to be needed. That one and that one, or those two, which are currently on the floor. Let me fix this as well. Okay, on the table we have this one. This is the Ace of Pentacles. Alright, so that's like a new initiative, possibly an idea that they had for making some money, maybe. Let's take a look at what we have here. We have the King of Cups, and we have the Queen of Wands. Okay. So there may have been an idea for making some money off of them. We have here the King of Cups, who is somebody who is very much in tune with their emotions, maybe. We have here the Queen of Wands, who is somebody who just likes to get things done. And I think the two of them came up with some type of idea. The Queen of Wands doesn't always have to point to a female, just like the King of Cups doesn't have to point to a male. But I guess this is the couple of perpetrators that came up with a different plan. I think they definitely transported her somewhere, because we're looking at this Ace of Pentacles over here, and there's two angels carrying this new pentacle off. And there's like a foresty area back there. Lots of flowers in the air as well. Maybe they did like go, hey, I have this place that I know, and oh, why don't we go there, because that's such a convenient location. Maybe the cards are very much skewed here. What a mess. Let me just turn this around a bit. And you right there. Okay, so they may have known of a location where they could have gone. We have the Hierophant here, which is some type of authority figure. I'm thinking that there may have been a few people called in to help. And one of those people was definitely well known, I'm guessing, within their community. So kind of like somebody who takes care of business. Like they both knew somebody who could help them with this over here. Kind of like the game master that we just saw over there on the end right there, that they may have had somebody like a connection who knows exactly how to deal with these types of situations. So they may have found some way to whisk her away. Oops. Okay, I'm taking these two, but this is a whole stack right here. Let's see if we can get anything from here. Which one? That one. Let's see. These two came first. We have the Five of Pentacles. That's like a bankruptcy type of thing. We have the Two of Swords, unable to move, and then we have, at least unable to make plans for moving, and we have here the Ace of Wands, also not great. Okay, so I'm thinking that calling on this Hierophant person there in the top right Probably cost them quite a bit. Maybe they had to call in a lot of favors and something that they would normally not have done. Like I said, there was like a whole network of people involved in this, and I'm guessing that the thing that happened with Charlene was not that common, that it was an everyday occurrence. So I'm guessing they had to call in a lot of favors, like I said, and they were not able to move for a while. And there's even some struggle here. These two are fighting on this card right here. And they were also not able to do new things. So I'm guessing that as a result of taking care of this issue, they were basically told, like, okay, you're going to lay low, you're not going to do anything, you're not going to draw any attention, you're not going to XYZ, because I'm telling you, and you owe me, basically, with the Five of Pentacles right there. So that literally looks like a beggar of some sort. So they basically owe this other person a lot because they helped them out with something so unusual. So it looks as though they were just made to disappear, but the Six of Swords over here and the Ace of Pentacles carrying things away doesn't look like they actually did what people like to think that they may have done. Okay, that one almost wanted to fall, but not quite. That one. All right. And last card that we have here is the Knight of Pentacles. And Knight of Pentacles is normally very methodical and very slow and steady wins the race. Usually has a plan, has a backup. In this case, it's in reverse. So I'm guessing whomever is involved in this really kind of is still struggling, or at least struggled for quite some time afterwards, under the burden of this debt and just not being able to move. So they're definitely very frustrated with that. Kind of like not being able to move forward or backwards and just being stuck and really hating it, because the Knight of Pentacles, even though he is the slowest of the knights, he does like to keep moving and to keep improving. And in this case, he can do neither. So they are definitely, they had at that point at least ground down to a halt, and things were just difficult and slow and very negative for them after the fact. Okay, real quick, one more time, if we are going to see anybody being arrested over this or anything along those lines, we have here the Eight of Swords in reverse, which is kind of like mental entrapment, and I'm thinking that this is something that is permanent in this case. So this Knight of Pentacles and people involved in this, I imagine, are very much stuck in a certain mindset. Like they really ground down to a halt. Like it wasn't just a temporary thing. This whole event probably left quite some scars mentally. And then we have the Five of Swords in reverse. It's called Defeat. And the sword suit, like I said, is about words and thoughts. So this could be self-defeating words, could be that they're going to end up saying something that's going to rat them out, or somebody's going to be talking negatively about them, which is going to draw the attention that they don't want. In any case, they're kind of in a mental jail of their own at the moment, or they might already be in jail for something else. I don't know, it doesn't really say that, but they're not able to move and they're kind of stuck, which is kind of like what happens in jail. You just kind of get stuck and you're not able to go forwards or backwards until your sentence is done, if you ever come out. I'm thinking this may, in that case, actually point towards somebody possibly ratting them out while they're in jail, like somebody who is also in jail with them may have heard them say something, and they may tell other people, like tell the guards or something along those lines, if they were to hear something that they thought would be very interesting for guards to know. It may end up being the case that somebody will tell on them, basically, from the inside, it seems as though, because they're kind of stuck in that situation, stuck with those people around them, I imagine. So that is what I'm seeing for Charlene Downs. I hope you found that interesting. In any case, make sure to leave a like and a comment. That really helps the channel along. If you'd like to subscribe, that'd be very nice of you as well. I hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.